We can talk about abortion.
It's gonna hold to air theory, so I'm gonna affirm the PC
You're a
position.
fucking idiot. What do you think air theory is? Just out of curiosity.
I mean, air theory is just I'm just gonna be holding like the type B, so obviously like it's just gonna be that the semantics of morality is gonna be like coherent and like what you commit yourself to semantically is fine. I think that the world, however, lacks like any type of properties or um, there aren't any non-natural properties that exist that would lead us to the conclusion that
Why do you think that
morality is objective.
Why do you think that semantics cohere to non-natural, properties?
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, why do you think the utterances hold some semantics where they're committed to non-natural properties? What's the motivation for that?
Wait, I don't even understand the question.
What's the motivation for the claim that you just made?
We know. I'm just distincting type A and then type B error theory. Like type A just says that
Or just tell me the position. I already know what type A and type B error theory is.
oh
I know
then
that
yeah,
J.L.
I'm
Mackie
telling you
holds
that
the
the
type A error
position is
theory.
just that since like when we have these types of moral discussions, usually we try to aim them towards some type of objective grounding, which I think is going to be systematically false,
Well,
right?
specifically, you're referring to some non-natural properties, right? So I want to know, like, what's the
Yeah.
motivation for that?
The motivation for me not believing in non-natural properties,
No,
or
why moral
oh,
utterances hold to semantics which refer to non-natural properties?
only some like moralists hold to that,
I
or
grant that
would
some
commit.
moral realists hold to that, right? But the initial claim was you said that semantics or moral semantics refer to some non-natural properties.
Yeah, they do sometimes. Like
Yeah,
when
what's the motivation for that?
the motivation for that, I mean, it's just
Yeah.
gonna be like when
And by the way, you
people.
think that all moral claims hold to this, right? Because that's what error theory
No,
says.
that's not what I'm affirming. Are you slow?
Error theory says that
Guberuski
all moral
Kashuba, the great
I don't think that's
replacement is
ever what I
Wait,
coming.
affirmed. Like
anyway, error
all
theory
I'm
says
saying
that
is
all,
just that.
just stop talking. Look, error theory says that all moral utterances are false.
That wait, no, that's type error. That's type A. Like I said, I'm holding to type B. I could just be that. I mean, look, when you say that all moral claims are gonna be false, like systematically, that's fine.
What do you think
Um,
that type B error theory is saying about moral claims?
no, both types say that. It's just that type A
Okay, so
just
I don't
says
know
that.
why you try to say that like it doesn't when it does. Yeah, both type A and type B say that all moral claims are false.
That's
So,
fine.
okay, cool. Yeah, so you think that all moral claims, in some sense, are referring to some semantics which refers to non-natural facts, right? So I need to know about that, like give you some motivation for that.
No, I'm not saying that. Wait, okay. Listen,
You think that they're all false, but one of the way in which they're all false, or one of the ways in which they're false, are going to be some non-natural facts that they can form through their semantics. Right? I need
yeah,
motivation for
that's
that.
only gonna be the case sometimes.
Okay, let's just sometimes they refer to that. Like so
Yeah,
sometimes moral
like
claims are false.
no. I think that under the theory, at all times when someone makes like a claim about non-natural properties that they're like positing exist, I think that those are always false. Uh, because of the queerness of it. Are you familiar with Are you familiar with John Mackey's argument about like
Yeah,
the
I'm familiar.
queerness?
Oh, you're getting into type A error theory when you talk about J.L. Mackey's view, but yeah, I understand that J.L. Mackey says that, look, there's going to be some moral queerness as it proposes or purports to some prescriptive facts about the world, which presumably does not exist. Right.
Yeah, that's fine.
Right. Well, for one, why is it going to be the case that the people who make these utterances are actually purporting to some non-natural facts or some like prescriptions of the
They
world?
don't always like they don't always try to like index it to non-natural properties.
I'm not saying always.
Okay, that
I'm just
then
saying in the
what's the
cases in
question?
which they make moral utterances, why is it the case that you'd come to that conclusion that they're purporting to some non-natural prescriptive facts about the world?
Well, I'm not positing that they like every time someone does like utter
I didn't
like
say
a
every
moral
time.
claim. Okay,
Yeah,
so it just depends on their position. Like I don't know
depends
if
on their
they're
position.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
if it
not
just
sure
okay,
like
then you're not
if
really saying
someone
anything of like value here or anything of interest. Like all you're just saying that well, sometimes, right, depending on their position, um, the moral utterance can be wrong. That's compatible with almost any like moral theory. Like what makes error theory
we
different or like different from all other like moral theories is that well, it says all of these facts are wrong. Or every time you make a moral utterance, they're always wrong, right? The subjectivist can say like, yeah, sometimes depending on the intent behind the utterance, the moral like claim is going to be wrong. All you're just saying is that, well, sometimes they can be wrong. Like, you're not saying what? Yeah, just give me like motivation for why all these claims are false, right? And then one of the reasons you
yeah,
gave
so
were that, well,
it
they
could
purport
either
to
be
some
that
non-natural prescriptive facts. Well, I'm gonna need the motivation for that.
yeah, so it could either be that when someone makes an moral claim that they're trying to index this thing to some type of objective moral grounding, right?
Why?
And it could either be that, yeah, well, I mean the type of discussions that we have about morality, um, when like some if someone says that abortion is morally wrong or that a fetus has an objective right to life, um, I'm sorry, can you like mute this person in the comments? They're being retarded. If someone says like a fetus has an objective right to life, I would say that
Wait, why can't this person
they're
in the
trying to
comments
index this
talk?
thing. Shut up. I would say that they're trying to
Hey,
index this thing to objective moral groundings, right? Would you agree? If someone makes a statement that saying that fetuses have an objective right to life, would you agree that they're trying to index this thing to objective moral groundings?
I can grant that some people refer to some objective grounding sometimes when they make moral utterances. I
Okay,
can grant that sometimes, right? To be
that's
clear, but here, look. Initially, you talked
sometimes.
about, oh yeah,
Sorry.
right, because you brought up the queerness, right, in J.L. Mackey's view, in which it refer to or purport to some prescription which the person is uttering about the world, right? Um, Now I can understand how you take it to be the case that, well, you know, said claim is going to be false, right? Obviously because the queerness of the utterance, right? Or, the queerness of purporting to such a fact about the world, right? But I mean,
Mhm.
such a thing such as like, okay, well, the fetus has an objective right to life, right? Let's just say that for whatever reason. I mean, it can just simply be reducible to some like fact about the world, right? Which is that, well, essentially they just have well-being, right? Or they just have some sort of healthy development about themselves in which they'll have a future like ours, right? And you're
We
just
no,
simply
that's
saying that
fine.
entities with such
But
a yeah,
the
okay,
issue we know the issue that we run into there, like if you're trying to say that, well, the thing about the fetus is that it's gonna be referred to like a natural property that exists in the world. So like then we're gonna run into an issue. Do you see the issue that we
no,
might run into?
no.
You don't see that um how I just don't see how we would try to prescribe some type of art or a moral rightness towards
There's an
a
issue because
thing
you don't
that,
see how we can prescribe things as something.
well, no, it's an issue because I don't know how we would grab an art from like something describing what is.
So you're talking about is odd gap,
Wait, sorry, yeah.
deep.
right? Okay, so okay, all right. You brought up rights, and then you said, okay, the fetus has this objective right to life. Now, a right to life is just going to be the case that it's a negative right, right? So you have a duty not to do such a thing to the fetus, right? And you're saying, okay, well, why is it the case that we ought to not do this thing to the fetus or something along those lines. And presumably it's the case that the ought or the property as the ought refers to is going to be something about the fetus or something natural about the fetus, right? If you're just proposing the is-ought gap, that's literally like not a problem.
All right, then solve it.
Solve it? Yeah, I can just analytically reduce the ought down to some descriptive content.
Meaning what?
Yeah, so look, it could just be the case that oughts are just going to be a means to an end, or I'm just referring to some means to an end, right? So let's just say like I will the well-being, right, of a fetus, right? It could be the case that not performing an abortion are going to be the necessary steps to lead to the outcome that I will, right? So I'm ought to do so, right? So I can provide some descriptive content to the ought, right? Making, bridging the gap, right? Because when I'm just saying ought,
Wait,
right, I'm
if
just
you're
referring to something which also is.
wait, hold on. You think that oughts refer to what is?
Oughts refer to what is. I think they can be reducible to what is.
And the way that you reduced it is talking about the fetus's well-being.
Well, I talked about the fact that you can perform actions which can lead to an outcome, right? Where it's good for the fetus's well-being,
I mean,
right? And
but
if I
then we
will
would,
its well-being, then I
yeah.
can take the necessary steps to ensure that its well-being is satisfied.
Well, I feel like then we're gonna run into like another problem. I mean, you could say that you want a preferred outcome, but obviously we can't say that this outcome is gonna be like guaranteed. Just
Wait,
like how we can't.
that's not the right. That's okay. A little confused. Okay. That's kind of irrelevant, right? Doesn't matter
No, it's
if
not, because
no, it
you're
doesn't matter
referring.
if it's just hold on. Right, look, that's irrelevant, right? The point is just to provide descriptive content to the ought, right? Just to provide the intent behind the utterances one is making, right? If the intent behind the utterance is just referring to another descriptive fact about the world, right? Then there truly is no gap.
No, this. I mean, I think that there would still be a gap because you're just saying that you're
Do you disagree
reducing
that
this.
willing a certain outcome, right? And then there's going to be actions to partake in, which can probabilistically, have that outcome, transpire or like necessarily transpire. Like you disagree that that's like descriptive. That's just true. Like there can be actions which
I
you can
know.
take.
I grant that it's descriptively true,
Yeah. Okay. So
but
then there's no gap.
like I said, okay,
The point is
then
just to
how
bridge
are
the
you
gap.
gonna okay, so
Cool.
I don't know, like, okay, listen. You're saying that you wanna go towards like a preferred outcome, right? And this preferred outcome is the fetus having a well-being which we could give pleasure to and harm. But like I understand it's the preferred outcome, but obviously we can't grant that this outcome's actually gonna happen, right?
That's not the point.
That is the point. You're saying that literally is your point. You're
No. Oh my
literally
God.
saying that
You're saying. Listen. Calm down. Look. I'm saying, right,
I
because you
need to
brought up an
calm
is
down and
just
this bitch is
this.
interrupting me.
Yeah, Rachel, look,
Cool.
because you're not tracking. I'm saying that, look, there isn't an is-ought gap if it's the case that oughts are analytically reducible to some kind of hypothetical normativity, right? Or just going to be a means to an end, right? And it can be the case that, well, when you say we're ought to do X, you're just saying that X is the kind of thing I desire or will, and then there are going to be these necessary actions to partake in which the outcome would persist, or it's just some actions where likely the outcome would persist, right?
That's cool, bub.
Okay.
I don't give a shit. It's just like I just can't have discussions with people that just constantly interrupt and think that they're superior because they're
Okay.
dark skinned. Like I don't like that.
Okay. Okay, so I guess that's it.